Jenny, with her mismatched socks and a book bag far too advanced for her age, is a ghost in her own home, unseen and unheard. Today she will dance with danger on a tightrope stretched thin, where escape from one threat might just lead her straight into the waiting jaws of another. This is a story spun from the threads of neglect, set against the backdrop of a seemingly ordinary Montreal night. Buckle up, because in this chilling tale, innocence is a fragile thing, easily shattered by the cold grip of fear. The bruised orange and violet hues of dusk bled across the rooftops of Côte de Neige, Quebec, lulling the neighborhood into a false sense of security. Unlike the cacophony of a big city, the streets slumbered with doors unlocked, a relic of a bygone era. 7-year-old Jenny, armed with nothing but naivete, was the last child lingering on the playground, her messenger bag slung across her shoulder, her chest harboring a sliver of hope for her mother to be home early that night. Her solitary trek home unfolded in a symphony of crunching gravel and chirping crickets. But the serenity shattered with a friendly smile and a question. "Help me find my puppy, little one." The man appeared ordinary, his face disarmingly kind. Yet a darkness lurked beneath the surface, a predator camouflaged in a veneer of concern. He spun a tale of a missing canine companion, painting vivid details to tug at Jenny's empathetic heart. Enthralled, she listened, a victim of her own desire for a world steeped in morality. As the sun dipped lower, casting accusatory shadows across the pavement, a gnawing unease bloomed within her. Then, the faint clanging of alarm bells in her head. Her teacher's voice, stern and unwavering, echoed in her memory, a warning against strangers. This friendly face, this fabricated story, it was all a lie. "I have to go," Jenny blurted, wheeling around. His grip on her arm, firm and chilling, confirmed his predatory intent. Panic, a wild beast, clawed its way through her veins. With a surge of adrenaline, she twisted free and bolted, the shadows now menacing figures dancing across her path. His relentless footsteps pounded behind her, a drumbeat fueling her desperation. Reaching her building, she fumbled with the buzzers, praying for a response. A deafening silence hung heavy in the air, and then the sound of a merciful click. The stairway loomed above, a potential haven. Her legs screamed with every agonizing step, each stair an eternity. Bursting into her apartment door, she pounded with fists heavy with dread. Silence. A silence denser than any sound, a confirmation of her parents' absence. Fear, raw and primal, surged through her. Scrambling up another flight, she found salvation in the form of Ms. Stella. Her door creaked open, a sanctuary in the storm.
Jenny.
Jenny spilled inside, voice ragged, pleading for help. The door slammed shut, a barrier between her and the nightmare outside. The stranger, the thief of her innocence, vanished as quickly as he had appeared. Ms. Stella's voice, calming and reassuring, soothed the aftermath as she called the police. Inside, clinging to the illusion of safety, Jenny dared to believe the terror would dissipate. But back home, as the door clicked shut, a new darkness clawed its way in. Her stepfather stood framed in the doorway, his presence more menacing than the shadows outside. The relief of escape morphed into a suffocating dread as his fury at her disturbance filled the air, a venomous cloud threatening to burst. The ordeal hadn't ended. It had merely shifted. Within the supposed sanctuary of her own home, a familiar fear awaited. It was a chilling realization. Danger wasn't confined to shadows cast by strangers. Sometimes it resided much closer, disguised as family, a wolf in sheep's clothing. In the sterile fluorescent light of apartment 202, Bedford Street, Jenny's childhood innocence curdled, as fragile as spilled milk. The once vibrant world now bore a permanent stain, a constant reminder of the darkness that lurked both outside and within.